Hello my motor enthusiasts. Aston Martin's Formula One campaign this season has been underwhelming compared to their previous year's performance. After securing 7 podiums last season, they've been struggling just to crack the top 5 this year. Fernando Alonso has shown sparks of brilliance, notably a third-place start at the Shanghai International Circuit, but a mishap with Carlos Sainz cut that race short. His teammate, Lance Stroll, has been trailing behind despite scoring in 6 races. The teams faced strategic blunders and pace issues, but with Alonso's drive for improvements and upgrades, there's a glimmer of hope for Aston Martin to close the gap with the leading packs. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into their season's tribulations and expectations. Hello everyone. This is Enzo, your guide to all things Formula One.
And I'm William Turner, at your service.
You're with us on F1 Motor Fever podcast, bringing you the latest from the racing world. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to stay updated with all our episodes. Now, let's put the pedal to the metal. Aston Martin certainly sprung a surprise last year as Red Bull's closest competitors, thanks to Fernando Alonso's stellar performances and a slew of podiums. This year, however, tells a different tale with the team often ranking 5th in performance and yet to visit the podium. It's been a challenging start with the team scoring 73 points so far, compared to last year's 217 points at this stage.
Didn't quite catch that. What did you mean? Could you elaborate?
Certainly. To put it simply, Aston Martin has not been able to keep up with the pace set by the frontrunners like Red Bull and McLaren this season. They've been struggling to make an impact, especially in races where their best finish has been 5th place in Saudi Arabia, where Alonso managed to clinch 4th on the grid but ended the race in 5th. On the bright side, Alonso has shown he still has the edge over his teammate Stroll, dominating the qualifying and race day head-to-heads. Alonso's consistency has seen him scoring points in the first 6 Grands Prix and securing top 10 finishes in 9 out of 14 races. This has given the team some positives to build on as they aim to come back stronger in the second half of the season. Stroll has had his moments too, scoring in 6 races with a personal best of 6th at the Australian Grand Prix. It's clear, though, that he's still trailing Alonso, not just in points but in overall race day performances as well. Speaking of high points, let's talk about Alonso's remarkably competitive weekend at the Shanghai International Circuit. Starting from 3rd on the grid for the sprint and carrying that form into the Grand Prix itself, it was definitely a season highlight for Aston Martin, showing what they're capable of at their best.
My uncle used to say, it's not how you start, it's how you finish that counts. Seems quite fitting here, doesn't it?
Absolutely, and that brings us to their challenges. One of Aston Martin's biggest slip-ups came during the China race, when they opted for soft tyres instead of hards during a second safety car period, costing Alonso dearly. And then, there were those difficult back-to-back weekends in Spain and Austria, where the team just couldn't get to grips with the upgrades they had brought in. Alonso's recent comments after the Belgian Grand Prix resonated quite strongly. Describing a minor points finish as a bit of a win illustrates just how tough the competition has been for them, with teams like Red Bull, McLaren, Ferrari, and Mercedes still out of reach. Looking ahead, Alonso's objective is crystal clear: make it into Q3 and score points consistently, avoiding the pitfalls of bad weekends which can really set back progress. Aston Martin's mid-season goal is to consolidate their position as the 5th fastest team, while eyeing further improvements. They're also excited about their new wind tunnel and preparations for Honda's arrival, which might just be the boost they need. As we edge closer to the mid-season break, Aston Martin's focus is on refining their aerodynamics platform. They're not just playing catch-up, they're aiming for transformative changes that could potentially leapfrog their performance significantly.
That sounds like they are hoping for a magic upgrade. It's quite intriguing because we've seen this before with McLaren last year and even Mercedes this year. They both managed to find those extra tenths of a second that catapulted them from midfield to race winners.
Indeed, and that's the optimism driving Aston Martin right now. The team is working tirelessly to bring these upgrades to the car for the second half of the season. It's a huge task, but if they get it right, those 3 to 4 tenths could be game-changing.
It's a tall order, but as history has shown, not impossible. The dynamics of Formula One are so fluid that a single update can alter the entire course of a season.
Absolutely, and with the new wind tunnel and Honda's arrival on the horizon, Aston Martin has a lot to look forward to. It'll be fascinating to see how these developments translate onto the track and whether they can indeed turn their fortunes around as we head into the closing stages of the season. William, what's the word on the street, internet-wise?
Right, let's have a butcher's at some fresh comments from the net about a bit of a classic moment in Formula One culture, specifically from the Grill the Grid series. Arato mentioned, quote, 3 years on, this is still the most impressive thing we've ever seen in Grill the Grid. No one did it like Seb, unquote. And the punters have been quite chatty about it. For instance, user Wellesley Bay recalled a moment where Kimi Räikkönen was asked to name all the champions back to 2007 and quipped, quote, "Are more. Why didn't you tell me that? I would have got it wrong in the first place. Where are we at? Oh, I won that one too. Oh, did I get it wrong? What a shame. So bad," unquote. Then there's a user named Fresh Iced Matcha Latte who pondered, quote, "I wonder if Kimi did it properly, how far he could have given the right answers. Till the 90s? 80s? Or even 70s, unquote." To which Wellesley Bay added, quote, "If Seb was sitting next to Kimi when he did this, not to help, just to egg him on, Kimi could have been coaxed much further back in time," unquote. And it seems the camaraderie between Seb and Kimi is a favorite theme. The bumblingest B chimed in saying, quote, "Yes, I love that vid, they are so great together," unquote.
Those Grill the Grid challenges really bring out a different side of the drivers, don't they? It's not just their racing skills, but their memories and personalities that shine through.
Absolutely. And the banter doesn't stop there. For example, user The Board General remarked about Kimi's tactics, quote, "Honestly with Kimi it wouldn't be a problem of how many he can list, it was always how far can you get him to go before he figures out he can leave. He is the type of person to get all of them correct back to the 50s and then say, well, I was asked to say them all so I said them all, now leave me alone," unquote.
Haha, that's Kimi for you. Always a character. It's great to see fans still reliving these moments and sharing a laugh or two. Keeps the spirit of the sport alive, doesn't it?
It sure does. And it's a sharp reminder that, while the racing is serious business, there's plenty of room for lighter moments and a good chuckle.
Thanks for tuning into F1 Motor Fever podcast today. We've had a fascinating chat about the aerodynamic developments in Formula One and also took a delightful detour into some memorable Grill the Grid moments. It's always a pleasure to share these insights and stories with you. Don't forget to subscribe and activate those notifications so you won't miss any of our episodes. We truly appreciate your support, and it would be brilliant if you could share our channel with your friends and fellow Formula One enthusiasts. If you've enjoyed today's discussion, why not drop us a comment?
Absolutely, and let's keep the good times rolling, eh? Make sure you're tuned in for our next episode. We're here every day, bringing you the nitty-gritty and the light-hearted side of F1. Something quite interesting is brewing for our upcoming sessions, so make sure you're around for that.
We're sincerely grateful for your time and enthusiasm. Looking forward to having you with us next time.
And remember, whether you're a diehard fan or just cruising through the world of Formula One, our channel's here to add some sparkle to your daily grind.
Pedal to the metal, keep your gaze on the road, our channel's content is pure gold.